So it's week one, but the Carolina Panthers already have some tough decisions to make as it's been announced that Brady Christiansen, the starting left guard, has been placed on injured reserve. He is out for the season with a torn biceps injury. And this is just a snag of tremendous proportion because Brady Christiansen actually played the whole game and nobody really knew, and this kind of came out of nowhere. So in this video, we're going to talk about why this makes things completely different for the Carolina Panthers and why they have an interesting decision to make ahead of that week 2 game against the New Orleans Saints. We got all that and more. Start right now. What up, though? It's Aaron Duncan with the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. Recap and analysis of the Panthers is what I do. So make sure you are subscribed and hit that bell icon so you don't miss anything. And also give the video a thumbs up. Really helps me out in the algorithm, and it really helps get that message out to everybody because we got some things to talk about amongst this Panthers fan base. So I want this message to get out there because our offensive line, I ain't gonna lie, on this channel, I really criticized them in preseason. I was a little disappointed in the lack of fundamentals, but they really stepped things up in week 1 against the Atlanta Falcons. Things kind of waned in the later parts of the game once it got to garbage time, and they knew we were dropping back to pass every time. But for the most part, they did a phenomenal job in pass pro and definitely on the ground as we rushed for over 150 yards. However, with Brady Christiansen going out, it changes a lot of things. I think Brady Christiansen had a fine game. He hasn't spent a ton of time at guard, played it all last year, and got hurt in the final game of the season. Like, how bad do you have to feel for these guys for Brady Christiansen to have a whole full bill of health last season and get hurt in the last game and hurt his ankle? And then the first game of the following season, you hurt your bicep and you're out for the year. It just sucks, man, especially for a good guy like Brady, who was actually doing some pretty decent things at left guard despite some criticism that's been coming to him from the fan base. Regardless, we know the Panthers were already dealing with preseason injuries in that game from last year with Austin Corbett, in my opinion, the best offensive lineman we had on this team, being out for who knows? He's on the PUP list right now, so he'll be missing the first couple weeks of the season. Don't really have a concrete date on when will he be returning from that ACL injury that he suffered last year, but he is progressing in his rehab. We filled in Chandler Zavala, who we drafted from NC State, into that right guard position. He did a fine job at right guard. However, we know the position he played for most of college was left guard. So it's kind of retooling and rewiring your brain to switch from left to right is a huge task, especially for a guy who didn't really practice in training camp at all because of injury and was thrusted into there. He did pretty good. However, the Panthers have a decision to make with their depth. Okay, who do you plug into that spot for Brady Christiansen? Do you switch over Zavala now, put him at his natural position at left guard, and then put in K. Mays or Nash Jensen or Justin McCray? Coach Frank Wright said that it'll be a 3-man race to see who they fill in into that position between Nash Jensen, undrafted free agent we had out of North Dakota State, Justin McCray, who was a free agent who has a background with James Campen, and of course, Cade Mays, who we drafted out of Tennessee last year. So those 3 guys are there. There's a couple different combinations they could do because this is not what we expected this early in terms of the interior line who was stressed pretty much in the preseason, which is the reason why Zavala has kind of been plugged in the first place. But we have a decision to make. Yes, you can kick Zavala over there to the left guard position, and then when Corbett comes back, you put him in his right guard position and you're good to go. Or do you leave Zavala there because you already retooled and rewired his brain once and he's doing okay at right guard, leave him there, put in your backup person there, and then what do you do with Austin Corbett when he comes back? Austin Corbett actually did play left guard when he first came into the league with the Cleveland Browns. So there's a lot of experience there for Corbett, but we know that he did his best work last year being on the right. So it's a lot of decisions to be made. I have a lot of confidence in James Campen, our offensive line coach. He did a great job of getting them right in between that last preseason game and this first game against Atlanta. It was a world of a difference from what we saw there. So I'm very happy with the output there. However, we need to have this interior of the offensive line intact for Bryce Young because interior pressure is the worst thing for any quarterback, let alone a smaller quarterback. So you don't want that pressure in his face that can really make him uncomfortable. And they did a pretty decent job, like I said, early on against Atlanta, and he had all day to throw at times during that game. So they need to make their next move the best move on doing this. I want to get you guys' thoughts down below in the comments. What combination do you want to see at the guards? Do you think Zavala should go over to the left and then plug in whoever you want to make a decision on there at right? Do you leave Zavala on the right and then plug in whoever on the left, bring back Corbett on the left as well? It's just a lot of moving parts with a lot of young guys on the field. I want to get you guys' thoughts down below in the comments. Without further ado, I'm Aaron Duncan signing off. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I'll see you next time. Peace.